Welcome to Basement Sports, Episode 2. We're your hosts, Corey Plasky, Matt Pollock. Today's episode is sponsored by Russell Wilson's Birthday Bash. Shout out to Sierra.
Yeah.
Today, we got a great episode for you today. We're going to do a little bit of a Week 12 recap, and then we'll dive into Week 13. We're also going to talk playoffs, and the man himself, we couldn't leave him out, OBJ. Where's the man going to go? Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all social media platforms. I'm talking Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever it is. Follow us at Basement Sports. Poke, let's not waste any more time. Let's get it.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Let's do it. Let's have an episode. Here we go. Let's start. We'll backtrack a little bit. We're not going to, we heard the criticism. We heard the questions, the comments, the concerns, and we appreciate all of them. We've been criticized our whole lives about a whole bunch of shit.
Exactly.
I mean, this dude's own dad coached him for how many years? He's dealt with a bunch of shit, right? We can handle the criticism, and we appreciate it. The constructive criticism.
The feedback makes us better.
Exactly.
And that's going to take Basement Sports to the top.
To the next level. Absolutely. As you see, we're in a different spot. I mean, so we're trying that out. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. And let's go. We're going to backtrack a little bit into Week 12. Here we go. Mike White is fucking him. I mean, let's talk about that. Let's start there.
Not a better place to start.
Not a better place to start.
The king of New York, soon to be the king of the NFL.
And we were there to witness it live at Jet Life Stadium. I refuse to call it the word that starts with M. It is Jet Life Stadium until proven otherwise. The atmosphere from the get, like we pulled into that parking lot. I pulled into the parking lot. You ran into the parking lot having to shit your brains out.
we barely made it, but we did make it.
We made it. That's all that matters. The atmosphere as soon as we started, except for the bitchy lady in the parking lot who was the parking attendant. She was all right, I guess. She was a little bitchy. The atmosphere was wild. I've seen taped jerseys before. I've never seen taped jerseys when it's not even the guy's number. Like normally it's like, they had an A-Rod jersey. They threw Gallo on it because it was new or something. There were so many Zach Wilson jerseys with Mike White's name taped over it. The atmosphere was awesome from start to finish. The fucking Fireman adds Jets, Jets on the opening kickoff was fucking phenomenal.
I mean, I've been to a lot of Jets games. The walk-in was electric. I mean, I haven't experienced it like that. I mean, people were going nuts.
Yeah.
And it was, it poured. It was a monsoon.
Oh, it sucked.
People were amped to watch Mike White.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't be?
Nice.
I mean, as a Jets fan, obviously I'm excited. I mean, as a football fan, you got to be excited to watch this guy and watch what he does, hopefully on a weekly basis from now on.
Yeah, Bob Saleh obviously said it is still a week-to-week situation in the quarterback room. He did name Mike White the starter this upcoming week. Big game for the Jets against the Vikings. Yeah. But, I mean, from start to finish, granted, we're not going to sit here and bash the Bears and say that's why Mike White played well, okay? Like, winning in the NFL is fucking hard. Winning in the NFL on a monsoon is even harder, okay?
Exactly.
And Mike White still came out and balled it. Because, the thing is, if Zach Wilson did this, it would, the people that
He'd be the guy.
He'd be the fucking guy.
He'd be the next Namath.
Exactly. Mike White did everything that Zach Wilson couldn't. He made the easy throws. He got the ball to his playmakers and let them make plays. It's not like he was hucking the ball 60 yards downfield in the air.
Yeah.
He was giving it to his playmakers and letting them make fucking plays, and that's all he needed to do.
That's all the Jets need out of a quarterback. The team is that good all around. The offensive line, the run game, the defense. Just get a quarterback, to get the ball in Garrett Wilson's hands, get the ball in Elijah Moore's hands, which nobody's been able to do that until last week. That's all they need. And I'm going to say this for you. 22 for 28, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I don't care if it's the 85 Bears or the 2022 Bears. People don't just stumble into those games.
No.
That's a hell of a game for any quarterback. That's why Mike White was the FedEx Player of the Week.
There we fucking go.
In the NFL. You don't just stumble into 300-yard, 3-touchdown performances.
No.
And, if he's not going to do it every week, we think. Who knows? But, those games just, they don't happen all the time. You do that, you're going to earn the job. Not just this upcoming week, you're going to earn it for the rest of the year.
Especially, you mentioned it, how good that team is. The run game, the receivers, the defense, especially that defense is so legit. The run game is weird. I'll be the first to admit it. If you saw it, I took all Michael Carter's props. Looked like fucking great bets, especially because I put him in before James Robinson was a healthy scratch. And then Mike Carter gets hurt, and I'm like, fuck, dude. So I lost the bets, obviously. Have we figured out why James Robinson was a healthy scratch? Like, did that come out, or what the fuck's going on there?
From what I've heard from Bob Saleh and a couple other guys, the Jets, but actually a quote from him was, "We left some meat on the bone in the run game the past few weeks," which, hell of a quote.
Yeah, solid.
And I definitely get what he means. I mean, we haven't been as successful in the run game since Breece Hall went down and since Robinson came in. It's not like Robinson has provided that much of a spark. Mm-hmm. And then Bam Knight, the undrafted free agent from NC State, got his first start. He was active for the first time on Sunday. Had a hell of a game. He had over 100 all-purpose yards. Provided that spark that we needed.
Yeah.
And listen, a little fantasy advice out there. If you're in a 12-man league, you need somebody. He's going to be part of the Jets' offense moving forward. He also caught a couple balls in that game, too, so he's going to get you points there. Ty Johnson, also not a bad option, but that's a good spot, I think, to leave it with the Jets.
Yeah.
We'll dive into them a little more with their matchup against the Vikings this week.
Yeah.
Let's go into a place that you're more familiar with, the AFC North.
Let's
start with the Ravens.
Nobody loves.
That Pokey loves.
Nobody loves the AFC North more than me, although I'll sit here and shit on 3 of the 4 teams any day of the fucking week. But at the same time, I'll defend them because I'll always fight that the AFC North is the toughest division to fucking play football. Okay? We're not wussies like the NFC North. We play fucking outdoor football in the AFC North. We're not going to fucking Minnesota with a dome, Detroit with a dome. Nah, we're playing in Pittsburgh with the fucking open river stadium. We're playing in Baltimore where it always seems to be pissing every time the Steelers are playing there. We're playing in Cincy. We're playing in fucking Shitville, Ohio. Like, we're playing outdoor.
All are tough places to play.
Fucking
with big fan bases.
Dude, there is no division with 4 stadiums tougher to play than the AFC North. And I'll fucking die on that hill. You can call me biased all you fucking want. It's just the fact of the matter. Is like, all the teams out west, like Vegas isn't a home field. The LA teams don't have a home field. Okay, those divisions stink. The AFC East might be competitive, but like, I was at a Vikings game down in Miami. The Vikings fans took over because people use it as a vacation spot to see their team play. So Miami doesn't have a huge... I know the fucking heat is a home field advantage, but like when you get to December and it's not that bad, it's not. AFC North, toughest fucking 4 stadiums to play in any division. All right, now that I've got the fucking stadium rant out of the way, let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens. They get stunned by the Jacksonville Jaguars down in Duval County. And I said it when we were on the way to the Jets game and I was looking at these lines for these games. The line being Ravens minus 3.5 was fishy to me. I was like, Vegas fucking knows something, right?
What are we doing here? I thought it would be a hell of a lot higher than that.
Yeah, like, looking at that game, you're like, all right, Ravens probably at least get a touchdown. Like, no, they were fucking minus 3.5. I was like, oh, Vegas knows something. And then sure enough, I mean, Jacksonville's going to play it tough, right? Like, Trevor Lawrence was the number 1 overall pick for a fucking reason. There's a reason that people put him on the Mount Rushmore of prospects. I mean, it went...
Which we talked about him, too, last week.
Yeah.
And how he's been a lot better this year.
Best game of his career on Sunday.
321 yards, 3 touchdowns.
No picks, right?
I mean, he had a Mike White game.
Yeah.
He had a Mike White game.
What a fucking comparison, right?
But, I mean, yeah, like you're saying, I mean, who saw the Ravens, going into, I mean, even though you're going into Jacksonville, who saw them losing that game? I mean, maybe it'd be close. Maybe Vegas saw it being closer than others thought. But losing to the Jaguars, I mean, the Jaguars...
No disrespect. I mean...
they've been competitive this year, but they've also lost to the Texans, who might be one of the worst teams I've ever seen. Time. I mean, they're, like, unwatchable every
Bro, like, the way somebody put the Texans to me the other day was that if there was a dominant Alabama team this year, people would be questioning if Bama could beat Texans, which, like, it's never the case.
Texans would win, but...
NFL team would always beat a college team, no matter what the case is. But, like, that's how bad this Texans team is that the question would be asked.
But they beat the Jags. And then the Ravens in this game, it was a 9-point game, 19-10 with 6 minutes left. They blew another fourth quarter lead, another two-possession fourth quarter lead. Like,
well, remember early on in the year when they were, like, 2-2 or whatever, and their 2 losses were to Buffalo and Miami... they were losing for a combined like 14 seconds in those 2 losses. Like, obviously I've been biased and critical of Harbaugh. Him and Lamar gotta fucking figure it out. Like, is Lamar playing himself out of $200 million guaranteed?
No, because the Jets, as long as Mike White doesn't win a Super Bowl this year or goes God mode the rest of the year, the Jets should throw him any kind of bag. But like you're saying, though, the guy wants money and he's played good this year, but also you got to win games. You got to close out games.
Not for nothing, like,
and they haven't done that. And it all falls back, whether it's his fault or not, it all falls back on
him.
The quarterback. And if you're Lamar Jackson, you're the quarterback, and you lose to the Jaguars,
It's a bad
I
look.
mean,
The dude was an MVP, 2-3 years ago? And, like, this is a what have you done for me recently league. This ain't a what did you do for me 3-4 years ago league. Like, they want to know what the fuck you've done for them recently, and Lamar's just...
you've got to win games.
That's the thing.
They're 7-4. They should be better than that.
I've been critical of Tua Tagovailoa. Tua wins football games, right? Like, at the end of the day, Tua wins football games. Like, you can't say that about Lamar right now. Yes, he's 7-4, but should have beaten the Jags. He lost to the Giants by 1 score. He lost to the Bills by 1 score, and he lost to the Dolphins by 1 score. You could legit make an argument that this Ravens team should be 11-0 right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I mean, they should win that division. I think
should.
pretty easily, just because where the record's at and looking at
The
their
schedule,
schedule versus the Bengals. But I mean, it's going to be a battle till the end, till week 18.
The Ravens' upcoming schedule, they get Denver this week. I'm going to tell you right now, if Lamar fucking loses to Russell Wilson in this Denver Broncos team this week, Lamar deserves to be cut. Like, that's just unacceptable. They have to play Pittsburgh twice more, and we know historically Pittsburgh plays Lamar incredibly tough. He has to go to Cleveland and play Deshaun Watson, who we'll talk about a little bit more, and then he has Atlanta. So it's a fairly, quote-unquote easy. There's no such thing as an easy schedule in the NFL.
They should win.
But they should.
They should be favorites in just about all those games.
When you consider the schedule up against what Cincinnati has upcoming,
Which I got it for you.
There we go.
Chiefs, Browns, Buccaneers, Pats, Bills, Ravens. I mean,
that's gross.
That's as tough as it gets. And I mean, the Browns are probably the easiest one out of that bunch. And you're talking about getting the Browns with Deshaun Watson back. I mean,
you could argue that it's Tampa Bay, but like you have to go to Tampa.
Go to Tampa, beat Tom Brady.
Exactly. Beating Tom Brady is never easy, no matter what.
They're looking to, stay alive in the playoff race and make it.
Yeah, but like we just talked about how tough their schedule is. But I mean, fuck, this Bengals team is good, dude. I mean,
they are. I mean. They are, but I also,
bro, they fucking put some offensive clinics on without their 2 best players.
They have.
On offense.
I'll give you that. They have. And they do get Jamar Chase back this week against the Chiefs. It's at least trending that way. He said he's going to play. He also said he was going to play last week. He didn't, but...
This is a big game. This is the fucking... Like, you got to make a statement this week.
They had a huge game on the road against the Titans last week, who... I mean, the Titans, talk about a team that just finds ways to win games. Their roster isn't great. They've dealt with some injuries, yet here they are. They went into this game 7-3. I mean, they basically have the AFC South wrapped up. But Bengals went down to Tennessee. Not an easy place to play. Not an easy team to play and beat. And they went in there and they won. And they won an ugly game, which is usually how Tennessee wins games. 20-16 is a Tennessee Titans game.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
They're playing defense. Henry is pounding the rock. I mean, just wearing you down. That's a Tennessee Titans type of football game. But the Bengals went out there and they won.
Yeah.
Credit to Joe Burrow.
Shout out P. Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, Samaje P. Ryan has been...
Ryan had a game, 58
balling.
yards, a touchdown. He's taken over well for Joe Mixon. I mean, nobody really thought the Bengals were dead after, a tough start to the season, but...
I might have said it after week 1 if you want to check receipts when they lost to the Steelers.
But they had a tough road ahead of them after getting a start like that, and especially, no one saw the Jets being this good. I don't think many people saw the Dolphins being that good.
Yeah.
There's 4 or 5 teams alive in the wild card race, which we will talk about a little bit later. So... Bengals had a lot of work cut out for them, and they're getting into that extremely tough part of the schedule.
Yeah.
Any win they could get is huge, and to get that win in a type of game like that was big for them.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it time and time again. We'll continue to say it. Winning in the NFL is hard, okay? Especially when you're fucking winning close games. That's my judgment of a good team. Are you winning the close games and you winning the ugly ones? Yeah. And they've done both the last couple of weeks.
On the road.
On the road as well. The last thing about Week 12 I want to talk about here. Packers, Eagles, Sunday Night Football. I mean, the Eagles they've gotten back on track the last couple of weeks. But the story here is the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, and I said it to you, I was like, bro, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to bend over and let the Eagles destroy him on Sunday Night Football, right? He didn't, but then he left the game with an injury. We know he had that thumb problem coming in. He leaves the game with an injury. Jordan Love takes over, plays well, and now all of a sudden, some people think Aaron Rodgers should be out of a job.
Yeah. And he said He said on the Pat McAfee show that he will play this week.
Yep.
But they have also asked him about Jordan Love, about stepping aside. And, I mean, that's where we are in this situation. And the Packers, I mean, that's an extremely tough decision to make if you're LaFleur, if you're the Packers front office, if you're Aaron Rodgers. On one hand, like, you have to see what Jordan Love could do. And you also want to get the guy out there, let him play, let him shake off some rust. Because, I mean, we know Rodgers isn't getting young. We know, I mean, although he has won 2 MVPs in a row, we know he's not in his prime and has all these years ahead of him. Yeah. We know that we're coming to an end. You need to prepare for life post Aaron Rodgers.
Especially, like, that receiving room is young. I mean, Lazard is still young. I mean, Watson's been fucking balling. I left him on my fantasy bench this past week. Cost me a win. If you're going to build for life after Rodgers, why not let Love get the rapport with the receivers now? Exactly. Like, in a season that's already dead. I mean, the team's not making the playoffs.
They're just not playing for anything. So, that, I mean, the business side of it and everything, preparing for the future, that's what you have to do. But we are talking about one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about a fan base that is pretty unique.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's a lot different than doing this in Washington.
No disrespect to...
I mean, really anywhere else.
Maybe a little disrespect to Washington. Not their fans, but the organization.
But, I mean, it's a sensitive subject for them. It is for Rodgers. And especially, I mean, we know Rodgers' personality. I mean,
he's a
little off.
He's a unique guy. He's a unique guy.
I mean, you definitely don't want to rub, arguably, the greatest player in your franchise history. Yeah. You don't want to rub him the wrong way.
No.
So, I mean, to sum it all up, if the Packers are fucked, kind of. I mean,
they're in a no-win situation.
It's like, what do we do here? Like, LaFleur, I mean, I would hate to be that guy. I would hate to have to make this decision because I think it's a lose-lose, honestly. And I don't know. It's a tough spot. I would have a hard time making that if I were him.
Hey, you want to pay me what he's making, I'll make the decision for you. That's all I'm going to say.
True.
But,
very true.
Like, I think the best case scenario for Rodgers and the Packers would be to come to a mutual agreement like, hey, this is what we got. Like, I think they have to sit down and have this conversation. Like, are you going to go forward with Rodgers? Are you going to go forward with Love? If you are, is Rodgers going to retire? Are you going to look to, get Rodgers somewhere else? Like, we just saw the package Russell Wilson was worth. Granted, it has not fucking worked out, and it doesn't look like it's going to work out. That dude fucking stinks, right? But you're telling me a team like the Jets wouldn't cough up a first-round pick or two if Rodgers was on the market this offseason? Like,
maybe. I don't know if I would, just because...
Well, you're not the Jets. You're the Jets fan base.
Giving that up, though, for somebody... for just a couple more years, I don't know.
Yeah, but with that roster that's ready, I mean, we saw it with the Rams and Stafford. Like, if you go all in and you win, what would you trade? Would you trade 5 more years of suckiness for one Super Bowl win?
Absolutely, but I also, like, are we going to have Rodgers for 1 year and he's done and we're going to give up a couple firsts?
Yeah, but if you win the Super Bowl in that 1 year, who gives a fuck? Like, who cares?
I'm with you, but... like,
it's easier said than done. I 100% agree.
Also, if it were Rodgers or Lamar Jackson,
okay,
I'm
that's
probably
fair.
taking Lamar just because you get 10 more years of him and you could win a Super Bowl. The thing with this situation, too, I think it comes down to Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers that is telling Mike LaFleur and...
That's fair. He's earned that, too.
Like, hey, I'll step to the side. I'm a little banged up. Whatever. I'll let the young guy play. I don't think that's going to happen now. Maybe the last 2 weeks of the season, whatever. But also, if this is it for him in Green Bay, and I don't know when their last home game is. I'm sure he and the Packers fans want to see him out in their field. So, definitely something to monitor moving forward. We'll see. Jordan Love looked good, though. I'll give him that. He looked good the other night.
It's the best he's looked. I mean, he hasn't looked great in his very, very limited play time over his career. But he did look good on Sunday. Packers' last home game. They end the season at home with back-to-back games. New Year's Day against Minnesota, and then the 8th of January they play the Lions. All right. So they have back-to-back home games there. So
we'll see.
We'll see what happens there.
I guess to put a bow on the end of Week 12, I guess we got to go with one of our favorite segments here at Basement Sports, that is Dog of the Week. Just like last week, we got 2 guys. We'll keep it short with the first one. We've already talked about them. Mike White should sponsor Dog of the Week. It might just have to change to Mike White of the Week.
Yeah, it's getting it.
Guy started 4 games in his career. In 2 of them, he's absolutely balled out. So, Mike White, congratulations. We don't have any trophy for you, but...
We should invest in that.
We might have to. But it's pride that you could take in yourself in winning this award.
Yeah.
The other guy, though, on my fantasy team, absolutely balled out. Put up 55 points, I believe.
Fantasy points, yeah.
That man, Josh Jacobs, out in Vegas.
Had a day in the overtime win in Seattle against the Hawks. 33 carries, 229 yards, 2 tutters, including the 86-yard walk-off in OT. Not to mention, he had 6 catches for 74 more yards. So that is, if you're doing some quick math, over 300 total yards of offense. Absolute baller of a day from Josh Jacobs.
Hate to be a prisoner of the moment, but that's got to be one of the best fantasy performances in a while. Over 200 yards rushing, 70 yards receiving, 6 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Off the top of my head, I know Jamar had a crazy game last year. Like, obviously being a receiver, if you play PPR, get the advantage. Kamara's like 4 or 5 touchdown day on Christmas a couple years ago come to mind, but this is definitely up there.
Yeah.
I know, like, some people play funky scoring. We play fairly standard scoring PPR.
Yeah. I mean, we'll do bonuses, but...
Yeah, like, we're not playing anything crazy. But no, Josh Jacobs definitely one of the best fantasy performances of recent memory. Might be the best of the year.
And he's having a year. I told you, draft night in fantasy, I love that pick. I took him because he's in a contract year, didn't have the 5th-year option, picked up by the Raiders. You knew McDaniels, coming from New England, who they like to run the ball. I mean, even when they had Brady, it's a big part of their offense. You know they were going to pound the rock. And a guy that isn't on contract for years in the future, you know they were going to run him to the ground. And, I mean, the guy's going to make some money coming up.
Who's paying a running back?
I get that running backs have lost a little value and all, but a guy having a season like that is going to get paid. He's the headliner of that list with Saquon, with Kareem Hunt, Jamal Williams, who was our dog of the week last week. He's been a guy that hasn't really had a starting role yet in the NFL. Maybe he gets one after the season, but just a great free agent class for running backs that is headlined by our dog of the week, Josh Jacobs.
I also think we're going to transition into seeing, we're basically there, right? The days of workhorse running backs, they're dead. Right,
yeah.
like you're never gonna see. I mean, even what Najee did last year in terms of like being a workhorse and getting 80 whatever % of the carries, like those days are done. So I think you're gonna start seeing running backs get. They're never gonna make like what I don't know. I can't think of a running back that caught a bag, right? Like what Le'Veon Bell wanted, right? Like they're never gonna get that bag, but they'll get very respectable money. Obviously, everyone in the NFL is making respectable money for like average people, but like they'll get good money. And you're going to see teams go with running backs by committee. You've seen it, like, in Cleveland, it's worked out. Like, 2 different style backs in Chubb and Hunt, and it's worked out very well for them. You see it in Detroit a little bit. Like, yeah, Jamal's, like, the main guy, but, like, you have DeAndre Swift in certain situations. Like, even in Pittsburgh now, like, Jalen Warren's, like, the third down back. Like, you're seeing it everywhere, running backs by committee. And I think that's just going to extend the careers of these guys. So I think it's great for that. It gives them the opportunity to make more money in the longevity purpose.
And the teams, they like that committee, but you also want that dog, too.
Yeah, you got to have the one guy.
The home run hitter, which Jacobs has proved to be that guy.
86 yards to walk it off on Sunday.
Insane.
There you go. Beat
a Seattle Seahawks team that is on the fence now in the NFC playoff race.
Yeah.
As of today, they are not in.
Outside looking in.
And that brings us to our next subject, which is contenders versus pretenders. We're going to break down a couple teams. Do we think that they're going to be a playoff team come January? Are they going to be sitting on the couch with us here at Basement Sports watching other teams play? So I guess we could start with the team that we watched last week. We were there to see them, the New York Jets. I'll try to be as unbiased as possible.
He's going to be extremely biased.
And let Pokey over here.
Hey, I just want to say, we've been recording for how many minutes, and I haven't mentioned Kenny Pickett's name yet until right this moment. So I think I've done pretty well today. All right. The New York Jets. Contenders or pretenders? Man, do I wish they had Breece Hall healthy.
Breece Hall and Elijah Vera Tucker.
Yeah, I think so. Again, I just did it myself. I'm a victim of my own critique. But, like, Elijah Vera Tucker, like, people are, like, throwing that under the rug because, like, people don't care about linemen. Fucking at Travis.
He's their best overall player, by the way. Vera Tucker is.
That's a fucking take, dude.
Absolutely.
On offense or the team?
On the team. That guy is a guard, and he was playing left tackle.
Sauce Gardner, you hear this?
He was playing left and right tackle this year. He was all over that line, and he was playing like one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL. He would have been a first-team All-Pro. Absolutely. He's
I'm not saying he's bad, but...
He's their best and most...
It's hard to call a lineman the most valuable player of a team. Well, I get what you're saying.
But, yeah, no, he's the most talented because people on the offensive line, like, you can't put a guard out at left tackle and then next week at right tackle and expect him to hold up. He didn't hold up. He looked like an All-Pro.
Yeah.
So, with him and Breece Hall, they even had Mekhi Becton or really George Fant all this year, too. We won't even talk about that much. But
the Jets, real quick to wrap up the AVT thing, there's only one other guy in the league that I can think of that moves around the line as much as he does, and he doesn't do it quite as well. He does it really well as Elton Jenkins up in Green Bay. Yeah. He moves around the line incredibly well, but nobody does it like AVT. Contenders or pretenders for the Jets? I'm going to give them contender. Fucking, absolutely. I know I sound like a fucking old head saying it. Defense wins championships, all right? You fucking saw what the Bucs defense did to Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Yeah. This fucking defense is ridiculously
If there's a defense in the AFC that could stop Mahomes, that could stop Burrow, Josh Allen, it's this defense.
And the thing, but it all comes down, it's a team sport. The offense has to keep that defense off the field. So that's why you need a guy that doesn't turn the ball over, can make the easy plays, the easy reads, and can keep the ball away from the if Mike White can literally just fucking not turn the ball over and make the easy throws, he should be the starting quarterback all the way. We've seen, it's so tough. We've seen so little Mike White to compare him to guys that Jared Goff played in a Super Bowl, okay? With a great defense and good weapons. That's exactly what Mike White and the Jets have.
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl.
You don't need... Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, okay? That was a little biased and disrespectful of Flacco, a little bit. But what I'm saying is you don't need a first-team All-Pro quarterback to win the Super Bowl. No. You don't. It's a team game.
Not when you have a defense that good.
That's the thing, yeah. If you're the Bengals last year with that O-line, you needed Joey Burrow to get there. Yeah. This Jets team is good. Their schedule is fairly favorable. The next 2 weeks are brutal, but after that it clears up a little bit. They have to go to Minnesota.
If they win the games that they're supposed to win, which is... they have the Lions at home,
Jacksonville
Jaguars at home, and you could probably even throw Seattle in there too.
Yeah,
even if you just take the Lions and Jags, that brings them to 9 wins, and you're just asking them to win 1, maybe just 2 out of those other 4 games. You do that, they're definitely in the playoffs, and they could possibly compete for that division. Seeing what happens.
I look at it like this: they have to go to Minnesota and then go to Buffalo the next 2 weeks, but then they get Detroit and Jacksonville at home, go to Seattle, and go to Miami. If they take care of the 3 games that I think they easily should win, Detroit, Jacksonville, Seattle, then you only need to win one of the other 3, whether it's Minnesota, Buffalo, or Miami. You got to go 1 for 3 there. Obviously, it's going to be tough with them being on the road, all 3 of those games. But, put up or shut up, right?
They've been the best road team in the NFL this year. 1 loss.
There you fucking go.
And the 1 loss came on a fucking punt return touchdown with 5 seconds left.
Punt the ball out of bounds for the love of the brand. But I'm going to give the Jets the contender tag.
I'll stick with you there. Sticking with the AFC East, the team that we're going to see tonight, New England Patriots. Contender or pretender?
Man. They're pretenders. They're not.
It's tough to say that, too, about a Belichick team, but it's just I don't believe in Mac Jones that much.
No, he's so mid.
Their offensive line stinks right now. They're banged up.
That's the thing. So, Mac Jones is a guy... Listen, if Mac Jones was on the Jets, I'd be fucking really all in on him, I think. Because we've seen Mac Jones be able to manage a game. The problem with the Patriots is they don't have playmakers.
They don't have the talent.
Yeah. They don't have... Ramondre Stevenson, dog, okay? That guy's a fucking beast. But, they don't have a, Jamar Chase, a Justin Jefferson. Fuck, they don't even have, a fucking Gabe Davis guy, And we just had a debate in our group chat earlier today about, how good Gabe Davis is. But, you take Gabe Davis over any of the fucking Pats receivers, and Gabe Davis is borderline not even a top 50 receiver in the league. Yeah. So, they don't have a guy that's, get him the ball in space, and he gonna go make a fucking play out on the outside, which is, what you need when you don't have a all-pro quarterback, right? So I like their defense. Obviously, I like what Belichick does. I mean, they're one of the cleanest teams in the league. One of the best coaches.
They have to play like perfect football to beat you, and I don't think you're gonna get that out of this team. Their next 6 games: Bills, Cardinals, Raiders, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills again. Like
twice.
3-3 at best, I think, and even like that would only bring them to 9-8 on the season, which I don't think that's not gonna get you into the playoffs
Unless the Steelers go 9-8
in the AFC in the AFC division.
Yeah, the AFC is tough.
Conference, I mean.
Yeah.
And a loss tonight too which I think they're gonna lose.
Yeah, we'll make some picks.
Would dig that hole even deeper, and they'd have to climb their way out.
Yeah.
I mean that's a tough schedule the rest of the way.
It is. Last team in the AFC East we want to talk about, the Miami Dolphins. This is one that a lot of people thought they were going to be better than they've been. They have been. Obviously, you add Tyreek Hill, you're going to get better, right? How good are they though?
I think that the trade deadline for them was big because
huge.
I mean, their biggest question marks were the run game and then the defense, mainly getting to the quarterback. And they addressed that with Jeff Wilson, he's a starting running back in this league.
Yeah.
Very solid. Add him together with Mostert, with Myles Gaskin, everybody. I mean, they got a pretty deep backfield with some talent. But they went out there, they got another guy. And then they went out and got Bradley Chubb, which is a guy that could wreak havoc. So all of that combined with, Tua has looked great this year. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Has the guy, we talk about it all the time. Could he be turnover prone? Could he throw balls that could easily get intercepted?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Trust me. Yeah, I fucking learned how to catch.
He's putting up numbers, though, with Hill and Waddle. Gesicki is a solid tight end option for them, especially in the red zone.
How low tight end?
I hate to say it, but they're contenders in the AFC. They're contenders in the AFC East. They're probably contenders for a Super Bowl. There's 6 more weeks of the regular season, right?
Yeah.
Yep. 6 more games left where obviously things could change, but I see a team that could score with, most teams out there, most teams in the AFC, and they beat the Bills, they beat the Ravens.
They have a good track record, right?
Yeah, they've beaten the good teams out there. So
you can only beat who's on your schedule, and they've done that, and it's been some good teams.
It is the defense that worries me with that team. I don't think it's a great unit. I don't think they're the Jets. I don't think they're the Bills. And keeping up with teams and scoring more points than teams is easier said than done when you have to face Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Could they do it against them? Who knows? I think a lot of people questioned that, though, out of the Bengals last year. And
look what the fuck happened.
So, that's been, a big thing, too, this year. Who's the Bengals of 2022? Who's the Bengals of the AFC this year?
It very well could be this Dolphins team.
The Dolphins could be that, yeah.
They're going to go as far as Tua can take them, right? And, you mentioned the defense is a question mark. The thing about the offense, obviously you said it's much easier to keep up. Easier said than done to keep up and score with teams.
Yeah.
But, they can score fucking quick, dude. You're fucking always one Tyreek streak away from fucking putting up 6, 7 more on the ball. So absolutely just fucking... They're contenders. That's what they are. As much as I hate to admit it, because I've been a fucking anti-Tua guy for quite some time. I'm a hater. I'm the first to fucking admit, okay? You want to go read a fucking article about people I hate? Go to our blog, basementsports.wordpress.com, okay? I have a blog about the fucking 10 athletes I hate the most. I also have a list of 10 athletes I love the most. So, if you want some positivity, I'm going to have to update that after that police report today. But, go check it out before it's edited. You can figure out what I'm talking about. But, yeah, I'm going to go Miami Dolphins are contenders, as much as I kind of hate to say it.
All right, sticking in the AFC, team out west, LA Chargers.
Man, this team's fucking weird.
They are, and that's why, honestly, I don't know what we're gonna do here.
It's a weird fucking team, right? They should be.
They should be a top 3 team in the AFC. Yet they're out of the playoffs right now.
Dude, and this is the thing. So I was a big Herbert guy. I think I've been a big Herbert guy fucking coming out of Oregon. Like, right? Like,
Yeah.
and, obviously the people throw the stat out there, oh, he's never had a winning record at any point in his career. Tua's never had a losing record at any point in his career. And, that's what people love to say in defense of Tua and, like, hurting Josh Allen, obviously same draft class. You get compared to the guys in your draft class. That's just how fucking shit works. I mean, Ben still gets compared to Eli and Phillip. It happens. This Chargers team, man. Brandon Staley's a super aggressive coach. He's toned it down a little bit this year, I think. I'm going to say, I think they're pretenders. I really do. Until they give me a reason to not think that, because they haven't, right? Like, there were so many chances to win the fucking game at the end of last year. And I know it's a whole different fucking year, right? But, like, it's the same core guys. It's the same coaching staff. They're pretenders. Until they give me a reason to believe in them and think that they can get into the playoffs and fucking... Because, like, they're going to be a bottom wild card team if they get in, right?
Yeah.
They're going to have to go on the road and fucking win. Are they talk about the Dolphins. If they don't win their division, they're going to have to go on the road. Can the Dolphins go to Baltimore and beat the Baltimore Ravens or the Cincinnati Bengals? Yeah, like, I think I can make an argument for that. I can't make an argument that this Chargers team is going on the road and beating any of the other division winners in the NFL. Like, in the AFC. They're pretenders to me. This Chargers team, I love Austin Eckler. I mean, if the receiver room gets healthy, it's a fucking star-studded receiver room, but, like, it hasn't been healthy all year. The defense is, I
love their defense, and I want to keep loving them. I love Derwin James, Asante Samuel, Khalil Mack. I mean, they got players.
They've got names, but, like, as a unit.
They haven't played good this year. And to give my answer, it's hard to not go with them. But I'm almost with you. Like, the wild card race is down to 4 teams. It's the Jets, the Dolphins, I said 4 teams, my bad. Jets, Dolphins, Chargers, Patriots, Bengals. Or Bengals or Ravens, whoever doesn't win that division. So 5 teams, not 4. Sorry. I mean, I think the Patriots, we said pretenders, I think they'll be one team out. So basically, take the Patriots out of that, and then you're talking Jets, Dolphins, Bengals/Ravens, or Chargers. I think that they're going to be the odd man out.
Yeah, they're the worst of that
because
list.
They've been kind of the least impressive team this year. The only thing maybe saving them, I like their schedule the rest of the way. They got the Raiders, Dolphins, Titans, Colts, Rams, Broncos. The Dolphins and Titans sandwiched in there will be tough matchups, but they really should win those other games. But they should. I don't believe that they will. I honestly think that they'll lose to the Raiders this week.
Why? Yeah, oof.
The Raiders are a team that, man, they could...
They're hot. I mean, they're playing well.
I mean, they're capable of it. I mean, even, like, the Broncos, like, it's still Russell Wilson. As much as we hate the guy...
I'm not saying this. This is all core.
The guy is a Hall of Fame... He has a Hall of Fame resume. He does.
He's playing himself out of the Hall of Fame right now.
But, I mean, I hate to agree on all of these, but I'm going to go pretender, too. Like, I think that them and the Patriots are the odd man out in the AFC. I mean, we haven't seen it from them. Like I said, they should, coming into this season, they should have been a top 3 team in the AFC, probably. Top 3 or 4.
Yeah,
they're 6-5 with, I mean, they should have lost last week. The Cardinals let that game go. They blew it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. The last 2 teams in the AFC, Baltimore and Cincy. We talked about them a little. I don't want to spend too much time. We talked a little bit about them in the AFC North earlier. Whatever team... All right, let's put it this way. Do you think both these teams get in? We'll fucking wrap it up in one like that.
I do. I would take the Bengals team over the Ravens team where they are right now, but we address their schedules. Yeah. One schedule is pretty easy the rest of the way, and the other schedule is brutal. And so, I mean, I definitely would put Baltimore in. I think that they're going to be in the playoffs. I think that they are contenders. And I think that the Bengals are contenders too, but that schedule is going to test them. And if they could get through it and get to the playoffs, I mean, that's going to be a team that has been through the ringer. And there's either 2 ways you can come. It's either going to beat you up and you're going to limp and crawl your way into the playoffs,
or you're going to be battle-tested, war-ready, ready to go.
Exactly. I think they both make the playoffs. I think the Ravens win the North just because of that schedule, but I like them both enough to say that they're contenders.
Baltimore's going to get into the playoffs, but they're not a true contender. I don't think. Again, it goes back to what I said about the Chargers. Give me a reason to think that you can fucking do. If Baltimore doesn't win the division, first of all, if Baltimore doesn't win the division, fucking choke job, with the schedule.
They might not make the playoffs then.
If Baltimore doesn't win the division and they have to go on the road, am I taking Baltimore? Off the top of my head, do I take Lamar to go to Buffalo and beat the Bills? The Bills haven't looked great, but
they should have beat them earlier this year.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm taking Lamar to go win a playoff game on the road.
He does play. He's had some good matchups with Mahomes in the past. Yeah. I like the Ravens' defense.
Arrowhead for playoffs is different, though.
True. That run. They could control a time of possession. They could control field position with their run game. That's why I think they are a little bit of a tricky matchup in the playoffs. They've got the most automatic kicker in the game.
Dude, it's a fucking weapon.
So that's why I will give them the benefit of the doubt, but definitely a close call.
All right, let's move to the NFC. Let's start with the NFC East, because as of right now, all 4 teams are sitting in the playoff spots. Eagles are the Eagles. They're going to win the division, I think, in my opinion. The Eagles win that division, probably?
Yeah, I'm in agreement there. Yeah. Dallas will give them a fight. It'll come down to the wire. I just think.
I hate that Dallas had Cooper Rush playing the first time they played.
The Eagles they have the leg up right now on them. And, Kane, it's a question about whether the Cowboys could catch up to them or not. Cowboys 8-3, Eagles 10-1.
Yeah, you gotta make up 2 games.
If the Eagles lose 2 more games.
Yeah.
So
it'll be tough. So the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, and the Washington Commanders. Yes, the Washington Commanders are in the playoffs if they started today. How do we feel about these 3 teams? Contenders or pretenders for
I think Dallas, we could just save our time. Contenders. We talked about them last week. Yeah. They could be one of the better teams, not just in the NFC, in the NFL.
If Dak never got hurt, where are they? Right? Yeah. Are they competing for for this division? Probably.
It goes to show how complete that team is.
Exactly. That they didn't fucking fall underwater with. No disrespect to Cooper Rush, but he ain't fucking Dak Prescott. And I call Dak Prescott. If you fucking watch my TikTok, go follow us at BasedMent Sports. I did fucking lay an egg on Dak Prescott's head, calling him super mid. But, Cooper Rush don't even compare to Dak.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't fall under complete water with them shows how complete that team is, that defense. Anytime you got a fucking elite pass rusher and a lockdown CB, you're going to be competitive. And they got that in Micah and then Trayvon Diggs. They have playmakers, fucking CeeDee Lamb. Zeke and TP in the backfield, they're fucking weapons. Dalton Schultz is really, breaking out these last couple weeks in the tight end position. And who knows, they might end up with, OBJ. So this team is definitely a contender. The biggest question mark, I think, in the NFC is the New York Giants. They're the biggest wild card to me.
Stand at 7-4 right now. They were 7-2 at one point. I'll start off. They're pretenders, and I'm going to throw out, I don't even know if it's considered a hot take at this point. I don't think they make the playoffs. Commanders, Eagles, Commanders again, Vikings, Colts, Eagles. That's a tough stretch against teams that are hot right now. Commanders are playing their best football. Even the Colts have looked solid the past few weeks with Jeff Saturday as their coach. Vikings, one of the best teams in the NFC and in the league, and then obviously the Eagles. They got to see the Eagles and Commanders both twice. Both are playoff teams. I don't see how they
I'll put it this way. Fucking put up or shut up, right? Talk about controlling your own damn destiny. They fucking control their own destiny. They're not gonna need. They better not be asking anybody for fucking help in week 18, dude. You want to fucking get to the playoffs? Handle your own fucking business, New York. Fucking go to Washington and then beat them on your home turf. Beat them twice.
Their path to the playoffs is splitting against the Commanders, beating the Colts, and I would say splitting the Eagles.
That'd get you to 3 extra wins right now, 10 wins.
That would get you. If they could win 3 out of this, they would make the playoffs. I think 10.
I think 10 get you in.
10-7. I think that's. I think if they were to make the playoffs and get to 10 wins, that's how it would play out. I don't think they beat the Vikings on the road at 1:00.
1 p.m. Kirk Cousins. Yeah, you got that
So I
dog.
think their best bet is split against the Commanders, split against the Eagles, and beat the Colts. And we'll see how that plays out.
I just don't see that. The Commanders are so good right now, and they're only getting better with Chase Young back.
Which brings us to the Commanders now. I say they're contenders. I think that they're going to make the wild card. We talked about Heineke last week. We love the guy.
Oh, yeah, he's a dog.
I mean, very similar to a Mike White type where it's just like, dude, take care of the football, get the ball in your playmaker's hands, move the chains, don't make the massive mistake, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And he's done that. The guys in that locker room, they love him.
That's the big thing. And you know what? We've seen him in the playoffs before, and he fucking gave Tom fucking Brady a run for his money. So I'm in on this Washington Commanders team. They are the Washington contenders as far as I'm concerned, okay? Exactly. Because, listen, you want to talk about, they're not what the Bengals were. They're a completely different team. You want to talk about a team that can make a Cinderella run? I don't know about you. NFC is not as good as the AFC, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely not.
So, you want to talk about a team that could fucking surprise some people? Why the fuck not the Washington Commanders, right? I mean, like, what do you need to win a Super Bowl? A good head coach, probably a great head coach. Boom, Ron Rivera. He's pretty fucking good at his job, right? A quarterback who fucking does what the team needs. Taylor Heineke's fucking elite at doing exactly what the team needs. Doesn't turn the ball over. He's good. Run game. I mean, fucking Brian Robinson broke out. I mean, he was a fucking contender.
Robinson and Gibson. I love Gibson.
Yeah, B-Rob was a contender for Dog of the Week this week. Dude had his first 100-yard game. The dude got shot and fucking is balling out in the NFL right now. Like, what a fucking dog. Antonio Gibson's great out of the backfield as well. And then that receiver room. I mean, fucking Terry McLaurin, dude. I mean, I'm beating the drum of overrated or underrated to the point where he's not underrated anymore. But I fucking love me some Scary Terry, bro. I'm in on this Commanders team. If I had to pick a team that I don't have the odds in front of me on what the fucking Super Bowl. If I had to pick a team that's like longer than plus 5,000 odds, give me the Commanders. Like, that's my fucking pick. I think they could really fucking upset some people here in the NFC playoffs.
Schedule 2, Giants this week. Then they have a bye.
Late bye. That's big.
Late bye where they could get healthy, you know, get refreshed and everything.
Get Chase Young back.
Then they get the Giants again. Which, talk about being able to...
I fucking hate that schedule.
Talk about being able to control your own destiny, though. And they could just wipe the Giants out.
Yeah, they could fucking...
With 2 wins and gain above them. So, we both like the Commanders.
I'm in on the fucking Commanders. All right. Last team in Pretenders and Contenders. I'm going to fucking say it, dude. They stink. It's the Seattle Seahawks, okay? Geno Smith, I know you're a big Geno guy. Fucking all-time quote earlier this year. They wrote me off. I ain't right back. Fucking all-timer, dude. He fucking patented that. Good for him. This team's just not good, bro. The fucking Cinderella story ran out. They ran out of juice. They're just what everyone...
I think they're still on fumes, though. So you're going to say Pretenders. I'll still cling on to Contenders just because... my prediction now, I think the Giants won't make it, and I think the Seahawks do.
Okay.
I do think that the offense has played good. Like, they put up 34 last week. It's not like their offense is necessarily missing a beat. They're still, Geno Smith is still playing good football. Metcalf, Lockett, they're all playing good. Also, we've been talking about the schedules for everybody. The Rams, the Panthers, 49ers, Chiefs, Jets, Rams. It looks like a lot of easy, then a ton of hard, and then easy at the end. They're already right now. They're 6-5. I think 9-8 will probably get you in that wild card. Depending on the
it depends on what Washington.
The
2 games between Washington and New York are huge because if they split, both those teams have a real shot. If one of them takes both of them, that fucking wipes the other team out big time.
And listen.
So if you're Seattle, you're rooting for one of those teams to win both those games.
And if you're a Seattle fan, you got to beat the Rams twice. You got to beat the Panthers, and then maybe get lucky somewhere else. But those 3 wins alone get you to 9 wins, which gives you a chance to fight in. 49ers, I feel like every once in a while have a letdown type of game.
Not this year.
It's a primetime game in Seattle, which we know is a very tough place to play. So maybe that could be their other one. That Jets game is going to be a battle. So we'll see. I'm going to still cling on to them. I still think the Seahawks
it's the Geno bias
are contenders. Geno Smith might be a Jet next year, too. We'll talk about that later on.
All right. You're listening to Basement Sports Podcast. We got 2 more segments with you. We heard the critique. Okay, we're trying to cut it down. We're trying our best. We just got a lot of fucking things to say.
We had fun talking sports. I hope you have fun listening.
Amen. Sub down below. Leave a like. Leave a comment, bro. Like, even just commenting, like, great episode helps a lot.
And subscribe.
The algorithm.
We had 100. We had well over 100 people watch last week.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just hit that subscribe button.
It's free. Everyone's got a Google account. Okay, Google runs the world with like. Fucking hit subscribe for us, please. Follow us on all socials at Basement Sports. 2 more segments before we do. Our second sponsor of the day, the hashtag Free Jameis Winston movement. Okay, what's a team we haven't mentioned today? It's the New Orleans Saints. Why? Because Dennis Allen fucking sucks. Okay, why the hell isn't Jameis Winston playing for them? Andy Dalton just got shut out on Sunday, okay?
How are you a quarterback? He's not their franchise quarterback. He's been a guy on the fence all year. How do you get shut out and still have your job next week?
It's bullshit.
It's ridiculous.
Okay? Free Jameis. He don't deserve this. Last time I checked, you don't lose your job because of injury. Fucking preach, young man. Get Jameis back on the fucking football field.
Absolutely.
We're big Jameis people over here at Basement
And that brings
Sports.
us in to Week 13. A phenomenal slate. I hope you guys at home have Red Zone.
Oh my
you have
God.
NFL Sunday Ticket, because the 2 or 3 games that they have on TV,
The TV ain't enough.
That ain't enough. You need the 3 TVs like we got going on down here for Basement Sports.
I was talking to somebody about the slate. These fucking great games. I haven't missed a Steelers game outside of if I went to another NFL game while they were playing.
Might have to turn that one off.
That one might not even make my fucking laptop.
That one
this
might
week.
just be, let's check the ESPN
Like,
play-by-play.
It literally might. I might have the radio in my ear on the AirPod. Like
They have to earn it.
That literally might be what the fuck happens, because this slate is stacked. Okay, fucking the Jets go to Minnesota. Washington is in East Rutherford to play the Giants. Tennessee's at Philly. Fucking Miami goes to San Fran. KC goes to Cincinnati. And none of those are even the Sunday night game. I mean, this fucking slate is stacked.
It's just playoff implications everywhere.
It's fucking awesome.
And then, I mean, one of the biggest headlines, too, is Deshaun Watson returning for the first time in
2 years?
2 years.
Yeah.
He's playing against his old team.
In Houston.
Probably not going to be the return that he would hope.
But
he's coming back. We got to talk about him. On the football field alone, the guy was arguably a top 5 quarterback in the game. It's why I picked him up in fantasy. Make your assumptions about me. I had to prioritize winning. I had to.
Listen, if Goodell's going to let him play...
Exactly. I mean, if he said it's okay, then I say it's okay. I had Russell Wilson playing quarterback for me all year. The guy had one singular fantasy point going into the 4th quarter last week. At some point,
for the record, I told him non-sarcastically to start Mike White. He didn't listen to me, so you came up with the dub.
Next week.
You came up with the dub, though, right?
I did.
Yeah, I did not. I sat Christian Watson and lost.
So some of these games, we want to make some predictions. We got a huge slate of games. Like we said, playoff implications. Want to start New York Jets in Minnesota?
Let's do it. The Vikings are giving 3 points at home. The Jets are one of the best teams against the spread in football. They're 7-4 on the year ATS. They're 4-1 ATS on the road. You talk about how good they are on the road. 7-3 ATS in their last 10 and 7-3 straight up in their last 10. Minnesota 8-2 in their last 10 straight up. 4-5-1 ATS in their last 10. Are they going to cover the 3 here? Are they even going to win? Game's at 1 p.m. It's in Minnesota. I really think the crowd's going to be fired up. They're off a mini bye week because they played on Thanksgiving, so they get a little extra rest time. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm going to take the -3 here. I don't mind anything -3 or less. I'm going to fucking take the spread if I'm taking them to win. I like the Vikings here. I like them at home. It's a put up or shut up game. Okay, and listen, Kirk, I'm talking to fucking you here, Kirk Cousins. I know you're fucking listening, right? Bro, the game's at 1 o'clock. There's a bunch of other big games going on. You don't have to suck. There's going to be a lot of people watching, but not enough for you to shit your pants, okay? Fucking just relax. Play like it's a 1 p.m. game and nobody's watching, and you'll be all right. All right, here we go, Vikings. Let's go. Skol, baby.
I'm going to take the Jets. The Jets have...
we knew that.
Jets have to take one of their next two games against the Vikings or the Bills. I say the Vikings are the one that they're going to get. It's going to be tough to take two from the Bills. I just think, like we talked about, if there's a defense that could stop, Mahomes and those guys, if there's a defensive back group that could slow down Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson and Adam Thielen, it's probably the Jets.
That's fair.
I think Mike White continues to play good football. I think he's going to continue to move the football for them, move the chains, take care of it for the most part. I like the Jets in like a 23-20 type of game.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I think that they win this game. And I was on the fence about it last week and even earlier in this week. I'm a little more confident now. I think this is the one they got to take, and they got to win games like this to keep some of these other teams off their back. I think it happens in Minnesota.
Give me Minnesota. I'm gonna go Minnesota. I'm gonna go like 20. The Jets are due for a letdown game, dude.
Yeah, they had it.
Give me the Vikings
2 weeks ago against the Patriots. 3 points.
Give me the Vikings 30-20.
All right. I almost said Redskins. Commanders.
Whoa!
Commanders versus the Giants. We're both big on the Commanders.
I'm in on the Commanders.
I see them winning that game. You got a team that's really hot and a team that's really cold.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though. I ain't fucking touching this spread. If I'm going to fucking do anything, I'll tease it or I'll take the money line because listen to fucking this, okay? I'm a big numbers guy. I'm a big fucking do you cover. Good teams win, great teams go over. I got a sticker that says it right fucking here on my laptop, okay? Listen to these fucking numbers, okay? Fucking Commanders. I almost said it, too. Fucking 4-2 on the road ATS on the year. They're 6-3-1 ATS in their last 10. The Giants are 4-2 ATS at home and 7-3 ATS in their last 10. I ain't fucking touching the spread on this one, okay? The 2.5. If you put a gun to my head and said to pick a side, give me the Commanders because I think they're gonna win. And how often does a team win by 2 or 1 points in the NFL? I'm gonna say that, and they're gonna fucking win this game by 1 or 2. But give me the Commanders minus 2.5 if you had to make me choose. The way I'd fucking bet this game is I'd fucking tease it. I don't hate teasing it either way. I would probably lean teasing the Giants plus, you'd get it to like plus 8, 8.5, 9 maybe. Just because I don't think this game's going to be a blowout on either side. So I don't hate the idea of teasing that. Or just fucking, if you're going to put it in a parlay, because I know this kid to my left is fucking obsessed with parlays. He refuses the straight bet. You can take Washington money line in a parlay, okay? He's laughing. I took Indiana straight last night. Straight betting's the way to fucking go, people, okay? But
parlay all the time, baby. Eddie Murphy.
Your best parlay is your next one.
All right, but we're both on that. We're both
on
the
give me the Commanders, yeah.
I like that. Tennessee at Philadelphia.
I mean, fucking talk about fucking killing the spread. Tennessee is 5-1 ATS on the road this year. 8-2 ATS in their last 10. Eagles 5-1 ATS at home this year, 6-4 ATS in their last 10. 4.5 is the spread here. Eagles minus the 4.5. I like the Eagles to win. I like the Titans to cover. The Titans play tight football and this is what I'm going to say about this game. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Who beat the Eagles this year? Washington. How did they do it? They kept Jalen Hurts off the field with their elite run game. Who's got one of the best run games in football?
Tennessee Titans.
Bingo.
What's the over/under in that game? You have it up?
It is 44. Nope, that's the wrong game. Yeah, 44.5.
I mean, the Eagles especially could score points, but I feel like it's going to be a game that we're going to see a lot of carries.
The clock's going to be ticking.
I think I love the under in that one.
I don't bet unders, but I don't disagree.
I love money, though, so...
Yeah, if you've seen the graphic, you know that my hoodie says life's too short to bet the fucking under. I don't bet unders. But
I'm with you as far as who's winning the game. I think the Eagles. I like Eagles in the under.
Yeah, there you go.
Miami at San Fran. Hell of a game.
Mike
McDaniel going back coaching against his old team, his mentor.
Well, again, I'm going to keep this one fucking sweet, too. They're both mediocre against the spread. They're all sitting about 500. I ain't going to read you all the numbers. I said it last week. I'm fucking all in on this 49ers team. If I'm going to parlay it, I'm going to buy either a half or a full point and get it to 2.5 or 3. The minus, I hate 3.5s. I fucking hate half points, especially at this line. But I'm taking the Niners to win, and I'm fucking if you're going to tease this one, fucking tease it the other way. Get San Fran plus 3. Tease it that way. Okay? This fucking Niners team is so good. I'm not going to fucking talk about how good they are because I do it every week. And I know y'all are tired of listening to it. Give me the Niners. If I had to swallow the 3.5, I would, but I don't hate buying the half point to get it to minus 3 in case of a push.
I like the Niners too. Home game. I'm going to take him. One thing to monitor in this game, McCaffrey has been a little banged up this week. He did practice today. I'm reading right now. He was at the start of Thursday's practice. He was working on the side during warm-ups. Did have his pads and helmet. So that's something to monitor. If he doesn't play, maybe the opinions change.
Yeah.
But I like the 49ers in this one at home. This is one of those games, though. The Dolphins go out there and win and beat this team.
Oh,
it's like,
the noise is going to be fucking loud.
Watch out. Because,
the noise is going to be fucking loud about the Dolphins. The last big game, let's talk about KC at Cincinnati. This game, fucking AFC Championship rematch. The Chiefs are one of the worst teams ATS. It's because they fucking play giant spreads all the time, okay? They're 2-7-1 ATS in their last 10. The Bengals are 8-2 ATS in their last 10. Bengals plus 2.5 at home. Again, give me the half point. Give me the Bengals plus the 3. You know, if you can get it or tease it. To win, I've said it once, I'll say it again. The Chiefs is the fucking Chiefs. Give me Kansas City.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs, and I think I even like the Chiefs with that 2.5 too.
Yeah, I mean, I would take the 2.5.
It's definitely a motivated group. This is a rematch of the AFC Championship last year where the Bengals got the best of them. I just think
Travis. I mean, I listened to the New Heights podcast with the Kelsey brothers. They had Mahomes on today, and they were talking about like this, this matchup or whatever. And they, Mahomes and Kelsey both said they were like, hey, this is Mahomes said it. He's like, I've beaten almost every quarterback I've played at least twice. I haven't beaten Burrow yet. Like, this means something a little different to Mahomes. He knows that the only critique people have on Mahomes at this fucking point is that he hasn't beaten Joe Burrow. Like, that's literally the only fucking critique you have on him. I think they're gonna go in with a vengeance, and I think they're gonna fucking take care of business.
Defense is playing good this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bengals are a different team than they were last year in the playoffs, especially when they were rolling. They'll get Jamar Chase back, but still, I mean, like you said, the Chiefs are the Chiefs.
Chiefs is the Chiefs, baby.
Give me them. I mean, 2.5 too. I like that for them. I think that.
Give me the over.
I think that they could win this game and win it by that.
I want all the fucking points. Give me the over 52.
Anyways, though, massive Week 13 slate ahead of us.
It's massive. We'll
get the ass on the couch and watch it.
We'll fucking put out more picks. We'll put them on Twitter. We'll put them on Instagram. Maybe we'll make a talk. Follow us at BasedMent Sports on all platforms to get our full slate of picks come Sunday morning. And before that, you'll get Corey's picks of Championship Saturday in college football. Super stoked. I'm not a huge college football guy, but this is one of the Saturdays where
you gotta watch.
I'll be tuned in.
Major implications.
Major implications. How do you feel real quick college football playoff should this weekend have any implication on the playoffs? Do you think it's unfair that Bama can get in by sitting at home this weekend?
No, they definitely can't. They can, they won't. The only team that I think can just sit at home and make it is Ohio State. If USC lost, Ohio State should make it and be number 4. Other than that, Georgia, Michigan, and TCU.
No matter what happens.
Especially Georgia and Michigan. But I would throw TCU in there. I think no matter what happens, they could sit at home this week. Those 3 should be in the playoff. USC is really the only one, in my opinion, that absolutely has to win or they're going home. So watch that Pac-12 championship. USC, Utah.
That's Friday, right?
Friday night, yet. Friday night at 8 o'clock on Fox.
What a fucking terrible time, dude, to be doing that.
Getting back to the NFL, can't really talk about the NFL right now without missing the headline that is Odell Beckham Jr. OBJ, where is he going? Is he going here? Is he going here? Is he going there? Or over here? I mean, it's like the decision. It's just such big news every day. We've been talking about it
for weeks,
for months now, and he still hasn't signed anywhere. Where's it gonna be?
Fucking quick shout out to our boy Dave. He made a great point the other day. Why the fuck are we treating this like LeBron's decision to go to Miami? Okay, Odell's a superstar in this league. Okay, Odell Beckham's not what he was in New York. Let's fucking not act like this is fucking Justin Jefferson at free agent. You know what I'm saying? Let's fucking slow the roll a little bit.
He did have a hell of a game in the Super Bowl, though. He has that potential.
I agree.
And he can take a team over the top.
But I agree. But dude, at this fucking point, I think we're milking it a little bit, don't you?
I think that it's just being I definitely think that wherever he goes, I think he could have a big effect on them. But I also, we have been talking about this
for weeks now.
For not even weeks, for months. We've been talking about this since the season even started.
All right.
With that being said, though, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, we're fucking part of the problem.
We're going to play a little game that we like called OB-yay or OB-nay. Do we like this fit for him, or do we not like this fit, and do we not see where he's going? So I'm going to start it off. Let's see who we got here. New York Giants. That's a good one to start off with.
Is the team that drafted him?
OBJ's old team. Just talking football here. They definitely need a wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
They are as beat up as you could possibly be.
You can
at
run
that position.
me or you out there a fucking receiver for them at this point.
They absolutely need somebody out there. Somebody like Odell to take over. It's a great storyline, great headline. Odell Beckham Jr. going back to his old team where it all started, where he made the catch. All of that. New York, the bright lights, all the fame, all of it, which is Odell Beckham Jr.
That's Odell Beckham Jr.
It's a match made in heaven, you would think. It's perfect. But I'm going to say nay to this. Just because, like I said earlier, I don't think this team even makes the playoffs. I don't think they compete for a championship. And I think that's what Odell Beckham Jr. is looking for. I think he's looking for somewhere he could go, play in a Super Bowl like he did last year, have a huge effect on that team, and win. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen in New York with Daniel Jones, with the rest of that team. They're so beat up. Schedule's tough. They got, even though that they're 7-2 at one point, they're 7-4 and are in the playoffs as of now. They have a tough road ahead of them. I don't see that happening. He did visit them today, though. He visited them today. He's going to be in Buffalo tomorrow. Maybe John Mara, Brian Dable, maybe they persuaded him. I just don't know if I see that happening.
I'm going yay for the New York Giants. You need a guy that's going to fucking I just fucking shit on Odell. Now I'm going to fucking reverse everything I just fucking said, right? But listen, I fucking said it. You got guys like me and Oso running out there running routes for the fucking New York Giants right now, right? You need a fucking playmaker. Talk about fucking sparking an offense. Go get fucking OBJ. Fucking, we talked about how electric Jet Life was at fucking Mike White. How electric would that fucking place be if you brought Odell Beckham Jr. back? You need a fucking spark on this team. They're fucking reeling, right? They've lost 2 in a row. They're going on 3 potentially if they lose to the Washington Commanders this Sunday. What's going to fucking get that lighter under their fucking asshole this fucking upcoming stretch more than bringing Odell Beckham Jr. back? I'm in yay to the New York Giants.
I'm buying it. nay. Second team, the Dallas Cowboys. You want to start this one off?
For Odell's sake, I'm going to go yay, but for the team's sake, I know it's going to be fucking the unpopular opinion because everybody's got them going here. I'm going to go nay for the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, listen, the Cowboys are a good football team. You could borderline that they're a fucking great football team. We talked about how they kept their head above water with Cooper fucking Rush playing quarterback. Do they need them? You could always have more playmakers, right? Yes, obviously. But, I mean, they just opened the window for James Washington, and James Washington is not Odell Beckham Jr. But they're playmakers, right? I just don't. If you got a good culture down there, okay, and I'm not saying anything about OBJ's character. I mean, he kind of was an asshole to that flight attendant potentially. But if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Like, that's my philosophy here. I'm going nay to the Dallas Cowboys. I just think the storyline and everything about the New York Giants is too perfect. I'm going to go nay for the Dallas Cowboys. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't think it works as well as everyone thinks.
I'm going total yay. Come on. Their second leading receiver is Noah Brown with 384 yards. CeeDee Lamb leads the team with 5 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz, their tight end, has 3. Other than that, Tony Pollard, a running back, has 2. Noah Brown, their second leading receiver, yards-wise, only has 1. They need help at wide receiver. I like Michael Gallup. I think he's a solid 2. He hasn't played a whole lot this year, only 8 games. He had that ACL injury last year. They need a little bit more help on the outside. They need some more weapons. They need some more talent. We've seen a little bit of a decline in Zeke's game this year, so they lost a little bit of that spark. They got some of it back with Pollard, but they need another explosive threat. Are they fine without him? Sure. Could they go out there and beat the Eagles, beat the Chiefs, beat any team in the NFL and win a Super Bowl with this roster?
Yes.
I think they can.
Yeah.
But it's a hell of a lot easier with him.
I can say that about any team, though. I mean,
okay, but the Rams could have won a Super Bowl last year, probably, but they went out and they got Von Miller. They went out and got Odell. They went out and got Odell. Yep. They said OBA. And they got a Super Bowl now. I mean, for the Cowboys right now, it's a toss-up. And it's not going to take a miracle for them to win. It's going to take a lot. You need to get your team better. You need to have all these assets. You need that to win.
I like what they're doing. I like what they have with CeeDee Lamb. I think Dalton Schultz is emerging. Like, he was out for a couple weeks. That's why his numbers are down. Fucking coming into the year, Dalton Schultz was going to be the second leading receiver in the NFL as far as tight ends go, behind Travis Kelce, in my opinion. I said they reopened the window for Washington. I think Gallup's a very serviceable too. It's going to be tough for any team to build a rapport with him, but...
Where's the depth here, though, too? That's like, you hate to play that game, but one injury to any one of these guys, and they are fucked. Need depth. It's not even necessarily a talent thing at this point.
That's fair.
I think they need to do that.
That's a fair argument.
That's why I'm going O-B, yay. How about this one here? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Hey, this one, we didn't pull this out of our ass, okay? You fucking go on this books. He has the fourth highest odds. I'm going O-B, nay. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, okay? This team fucking sucks. You gotta be better, dude. I mean, we're not gonna talk about how he's missed it.
I'm 0 for 2 or 3.
Yeah,
I think I made one.
He's gotta be better. I'm going OB Nay here on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, the team fucking sucks. Okay, and talk about a team that has receivers and weapons. They do, and they still fucking suck. Okay, if you're Odell, why the fuck would you even want to go here?
Tom Brady is the only saving grace there.
Yeah,
like I'm sure.
And like obviously lining up across Mike Evans is nice, but. This team fucking stinks. Of the top 4 teams that he has the best odds to, this is the team that's...
It's them and the Giants. It would be a battle who's the worst team. But this is also a team, though, we said last week, if they make the playoffs, they're not a team you want to play, and they can make a run.
It's a fair point.
And that can't happen with Odell.
I'm going OB-Nay.
I'm gonna say OB-Nay, too, just because I see better fits as far as playing time. I see better fits as far as being able to win. Also, look, though, at Antonio Brown. I mean, that guy came in and was wide receiver 3 for this team, and it worked out pretty well.
Something.
One thing, I mean, I could definitely see it playing out like this with Odell Beckham. I could see it being none of these teams, or being something that none of us saw coming, and the Bucs would fit that mold. So yeah. I wouldn't close the door on it, and that's why we added them in this segment. But we're both in agreement. Give us OB-Nay on that. And then that's going to take us to team that we're going to see tonight, the Buffalo Bills.
I mean, I don't want to double down on the OBAs, but I'm gonna here because we trash talk. Say Kobe when you shoot this. Maybe we'll make it.
Go.
R.I.P. Kobe still missed. Like we kind of crapped on Gabe Davis a little bit earlier, and I'm gonna continue to crap on Davis. Odell Beckham Jr. is better than Gabe Davis. And I know it goes against like kind of what I said about the Cowboys, but like the Buffalo Bills have to get through the AFC. That's much tougher than getting through the NFC. I think the NFC is a different brand of football this year as far as, like, you can get through the NFC with a better defense than offense. AFC, you need a better offense and you need to have a defense. And the Buffalo Bills, I think, would be a nice fit for OBJ because I think he, even, older now, not as, elite and young as he once was, I think he's still a top-tier deep threat. And who's got a better arm in the NFL than Josh Allen? I'm going to go OB-Yay for the Buffalo Bills. They'd be my pick in the AFC to get him.
This one's tough for me because, like, I look at it, I'm like, do the Bills really need him? Like, you have Diggs, you have Gabe Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, I like Dawson Knox.
AFC, you just need offense.
You do. But, like, they need to commit to the run game more. They have solid running backs. So, like, I'm kind of, like, in the middle. I'm going to say OB-Yay. Just because they got Von Miller, who we talked about the Rams went out last year, and they won a Super Bowl getting him and Odell. Why don't the Bills try to do that? They got Miller. Why don't we try to get Beckham now and do the same thing, take the Rams recipe, and win ourselves a Super Bowl? I like the Cowboys better. I like the team fit for the Giants better just because they need it. But the Bills, obviously, we would both agree, are Super Bowl contenders. Yeah. The Giants really aren't. So, I'll give them the OBA, but I would put them as the second team behind the Cowboys. If I had to make my prediction, I'm going to say Cowboys sign him.
Yeah. I'm going to go Giants.
Is he? Wow.
I'm going to go Giants.
But don't stop there because we do have one more team on here. I don't know who this would be. And what's this say? Oh, American Airlines. What are the odds of Odell Beckham Jr., OBJ, to be the next spokesman for American Airlines.
I'm gonna go.
We all heard what happened. The guy got his ass tossed out of the plane for God knows what reason. Guy was unconscious.
He was definitely high. He was high as a fucking kite. This dude didn't make a shot all game. We gotta get the fuck out of here. All right.
Terrible. OBA or nay though.
For American Airlines, nay. I mean, that dude's never stepped foot on an American Airlines flight.
It would be a good story.
Again.
Years down the road, maybe.
Maybe. This has been BasedMent Sports Podcast, episode numero dos.
Follow us. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Like the YouTube video. Subscribe to our YouTube page.
It's free.
Throw us everything, man. We need all the likes, all the followers, all the support possible.
We appreciate it. Tell your mother, tell your aunts, tell your grandmas, tell your grandfathers, tell your grandpas, tell everyone.
Thank you, Russell Wilson, hosting this.
Appreciate
Birthday
it.
bash.
#FreeJameis for Corey Osoito Plasky. I'm Matt Poke Pollock. We'll see you next week.